is exactly what I would have done if I wanted to migrate in 2025 as a registered nurse. As some of you may already know, there's an adage that says time waits for no man. I promise you, whether you are ready or not, the time keeps moving. Things keep changing. Things keep changing. Hear me again, that things keep changing. So every time you need to change your strategy to be able to meet up with the ever changing world. First up, what would I do? I would look into myself to see what I am, who I am, what qualifications I am. Okay, fine, I am a registered nurse, but with what? Is it with diploma or with a degree? If it is diploma, then I know that I have limited choices when it comes to migration. Don't get me wrong, I for one am a diploma nurse and many other people like that. But in 2025, we already know that time is growing so fast that what you hold as qualification is almost like a hallmark of where you are going to go. There is just a few countries who are willing to accept the diploma in recent times, and many others are still interested in you getting a degree. So if I were to do this in 2025, that is the first thing I'm going to look into. Then I'll be able to strategize which country I should move to or not. For my fellow diploma holders, you have very limited opportunity, which is why you need to be very strategic in your planning, especially if I, or those of you watching me now, you're from Africa and one of the red listed countries, which even makes it times 10 more difficult. I know a lot of my friends who have already gotten their qualifications sorted out. They've applied to relevant nursing board. They have all the preliminary documentation needed for them to get jobs, but because of red list, it is becoming issue. UK and the Republic of Ireland are on the top of every nurse you want to ask about that is interested in opening up to you about their JACPA process. And trust me, if I tell you that these two countries are somewhat saturated, you may say, oh, because you are there. I know what I'm talking about, because I know a number of my friends who are in this position but are not able to move forward. This red listing is very challenging for us, and we need to strategize and know what to do. Next thing I want to do is I would have checked, okay, if I am a degree nurse, then I know I have a ton of options available to me. I have the options of moving to the eastern part of the world, the western, anywhere you want to move to. But trust me, if you are still considering moving into UK or Ireland in 2025, then you really need to think big and think other routes other than the no usual applying to nursing board, getting a decision later and getting a job, because that route is actually beginning to be sounding like a broken record, because it's very tough to get jobs. People's documentations are getting expired. There are other countries that you can diversify to, which brings me to my next point. Please look into moving to countries who are also willing to accept you. Canada is there, the US is there, Qatar is there, Oman is there, United Arab Emirates, for those of us who are not from Nigeria, because I think the visa problem is still there with Nigeria. I don't know if it has been lifted in reality, even though I heard it was lifted. But those are options that may be available to you. I've made a video before where I talked about how you can move to New Zealand as a nurse from your home country, but you need a degree for that. Canada is also there. I know some people who are using the study route to get into Canada. Yes, they get a 1 year, like a master's, postgrad, just a very small course, or maybe HR, just something, especially for nurses. Just look for something relevant to your field, and then you can for a fee you can afford, because it's a 1 year. And in Canada, when you study for 1 year, you get the 1 year post study permit. And with that, you will not just wait till you arrive in Canada. While you are still gathering documents and funds for your school application, what people do is they start their NNAS application. Okay, they start doing their documentation gathering, verifying your document with which of the body you're going to use, so that by the time you even get admission, plan to even move into Canada, things about your nursing has gotten to a certain level. By the time you are done with school, you should already be writing your NCLEX. And when you are in Canada, it will be a lot more easier for you to get a job than when you are outside of Canada. Because I have seen, remember some time ago, I made a post when I was looking into posting video about how you can move in there as a support worker, but later on, what the people they were considering were people already in Canada. So that's how their immigration process always looks like most of the time. So that's what some people are doing. Another route is like you looking into the eastern part of the world. I've made video how you can move to Saudi Arabia. I think I have like 3 videos on that pathway. I've talked about the list of agencies who are still recruiting. Trust me, people are still moving from Nigeria and other countries, Ghana, Zambia, to Saudi Arabia, and it is like the cheapest route at the moment, because I know why people are hell bent on moving to the UK and Ireland is because it is cheap a little bit compared to some other countries like the US and Canada. So if you are still looking into affordability and where you can move to, look into the eastern part of the world. There you stand to gain working and not paying tax, free holiday accommodation, sometimes feeding. Is just a whole lot, and you get salary, a very good salary as well, working in the eastern part of the world. Another country you might want to consider is Australia. I've talked about Australia for like a couple of videos. I've even mentioned the names of the agencies: IHM, Institute Health Management. They have like should I say, a group of agencies coming together. They will help you for your application to the nursing board. They will help you prep you for the NCLEX. They'll help you get you a job in Australia. It's a long process. Okay, so if you are in for the long run, that can take you up to like 18 months, 16 months, and then you get everything sorted, then you can go ahead. The same is applicable to the United States. It's a really long process, but you will still get it at the end of the day. You just need to get the experience that they need. I know some agencies who are still recruiting, like Evans and Evans recruitment, and many of them, they are still recruiting. Please reach out to these people. If you are still interested in UK or Ireland, then be willing to do the self-sponsorship. Now, I've tried to call a couple of agencies here in Ireland, asking them, or if some of us are able to come into the country on self-sponsorship, we get the pin, will you be able to give us a job with the sponsorship that will allow us stay? And majority of them are still telling me that a lot of employers at the moment are not giving out sponsorship. The last one I spoke with mentioned something that some employers are complaining: when they bring in people, they don't stay, they don't complete their contract, and sometimes immediately they complete their contract, they move, and it's just expenditure on the part. So they prefer to get people who are already here on maybe like stamp 4 or stamp 1G to employ. So even when you do the self sponsorship, there's still like a little bit of probability that you'll get the pin and you may still struggle a lot to get a job. So I am still thinking the best way, if you still want to go into any of this country, is to use the study route. Why? With study route, you have a longer period of time to stay in the country. Let's say you come in for like a postgraduate course or a top-up nursing, which lasts for 1 year, and after that 1 year you have another 1 year of stay after your study. That's 2 years. So I believe that there is no how you will finish the 2 years and you will not be able to get a job that will sponsor your stay here. That's why I'm saying that if you have the financial capability and you are still interested in these two countries, I've also heard people talking about the same thing for the UK, that a lot of people also have had their pin via self-sponsorship, but they are still struggling to get jobs. That's because the job market is a little bit saturated. A lot of employers are not ready to employ, and the government, like the HSC or the NHS, are not really actively recruiting overseas nurses. So please, you can move into, just looking into other countries. If you are interested in Canada and you want to start the process, it's long, but it's something you can do. But like I said, find a way that will get you into the country. Start the process while you're back in your home country. Find a way that will get you into Canada, and then you can get jobs from there. I think that's what I will do personally. And one last point, which is like the most important point: if I were to be a diploma nurse, like I still am, what I will do is look into upgrading myself. Yes, you heard that right. Look into upgrading myself. Find ways that will enable you get like a degree, a higher diploma, so that with this you have a ton of options that is available to you, because diploma is very, very limited. Trust me. It's just like US, UK, Ireland that is like accepting diplomas. For the eastern part, like Saudi, UAE, they still do, but the opportunity is not as compared to those that have degree in nursing. So these are just like a few things I would do if I still want to move in 2025 as a nurse. I hope you learn a lot from this video. Don't forget to give this video a like and share it to as many people that would want to hear. See you in my next video. Bye bye.